Good evening, Boro fans. Welcome to another episode of the third half with your host A.J.T. Tonight my guest is Owen Swift. Welcome to the show, Owen.
Alright.
How are you feeling, alright?
Yeah, a little nervous, but alright.
Pleasure to have you on tonight, bud. Owen is obviously our guest. You are a season ticket holder at the Riverside as well?
Yeah.
Season ticket holder at the Riverside, sits in the southwest corner. Big Boro fan?
Massive.
Does he go at every game as well?
Yeah, home and away.
Home and away. You know, he's top supporter, man, top supporter. Owen does some cool stuff outside of going and watch the Boro as well. He's part of the Power Chair football team. Do you want to tell us some more about that, Owen?
Yeah, so basically I used to play for a team in Newcastle. No, I shouldn't really say that, it's like swearing in. But it meant travelling every week. So I decided to co-found one with two other players who played for the same team. So we set one up in Middlesbrough. So when we set it up, it was in 2012. And we've been playing ever since, improving each year, and now we're in the Premier League.
Fantastic, man, fantastic. And I mean, I guess it's both genders from the age 8 upwards, so anyone can really get involved then.
Yeah, as long as they've got a physical disability that affects more than 2 limbs. Yeah. So like you can get involved. You know, we train at the Rainbow Leisure Centre at Corby Newham. But yeah, I mean, it's changed my life. I love football, but obviously couldn't play it growing up, which was very frustrating. And then I got introduced to this sport, and it's changed my life. Really,
that's fantastic, man. I mean, I guess it's great that you found something, you know, football based that you can play, though. You know, it's fantastic, man. It's really good that. And obviously, you and two of your friends founded a game called the MPFC. Do you want to, you know, elaborate on that a bit more? Do you want to tell the people what that is in case I don't know what it is? Yeah,
so that the MPFC, that's the club. So it's Middlesbrough Power Chair Football Club. You know, I've been a local lad. It's great to represent the area. Like, we're playing the National League, so like I mentioned, we're in the Premiership. So like playing against teams from Brighton, Newcastle, said that swear word again. Newcastle, Manchester United, like just representing, wearing the shirt, like competing against other teams. It's just amazing, really. Yeah,
and I also heard as well that you got promoted, obviously to another division on the same day that Boro got promoted to the Premier League.
Yeah, so I sacrificed me ticket for the Brighton match, and
bet that was hard, was it?
Oh yeah, it was a tough decision. But you know, it meant we went up on the exact same day. We were 1 o'clock kick-off. I think it was up here. So like exact same day, which was quite a story in itself.
Yeah, I bet that was obviously amazing. You know, obviously your team get promoted, Boro got promoted. I guess it was kind of a special moment as well, was it?
Oh yeah, well, you couldn't really write it. It was just, so I was trying to check how Boro were getting on at half time. I was in my game. I was finding out, and I heard Brighton had got one back, and I was sweating a bit. My game wasn't really on point because my mind was elsewhere. Yeah. But you know, we ended up getting up on the same time. So
I remember the game actually. Yeah, I remember panicking myself as soon as it went 1-1, and I mean, as soon as their player got sent off, I thought then, you know, I was a bit more cooler than, you know, when we were seeing it through, and you know, it was a great day all around, wasn't it? You know.
Oh, we always do it the hard way, don't we?
Oh, of course we do, man. It's boring, you know what I mean? We never do anything easy, do we? I've got some quick fire questions here, Owen. I'm gonna basically shot them at you, and obviously you answer them best way you can. So, a couple of questions here, but I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna start off with the favourite ever Boro player you've ever seen.
I'd probably say Tunkai.
Yeah.
Just it was amazing, you know, striker to come over and just like play as well as he did. Just and he was so in love with the fans and everything.
Yeah, I loved him, mate. Yeah, I thought he was a fantastic player. Yeah, I enjoyed him. It was a shame that we let him go. You know, obviously he moved on, didn't he? But he was a great player, wasn't he? I always remember his overhead kick against Aston Villa that he's got from the south stand. Great goal.
Brilliant goal.
What's your favourite ever match you've ever been to, mate?
See, I don't know. It's for the atmosphere. I'd say Brentford, because obviously I missed the Brighton one. I'd say the Brentford in the playoff semis. Just, you know, the pitch invasion, like the absolute tonguing of the team, how well they played like Barcelona at times. And, like, it was just amazing to watch, and the atmosphere was just electric.
Remember that game? Actually, I went out afterwards, and we won't get into what happened. But, as you can imagine, I had a fair few drinks and woke up with a bit of a nasty hangover the next day. But I remember the game was fantastic, wasn't it? Great performance as well. Great night as well, you know. It was, and the way Boro played that game as well, we were absolutely fantastic, weren't we? So,
on fire.
Well, going into off that game, what was your favourite ever goal? Favourite ever goal you've ever seen for the Boro?
Well, Man City, when we beat them 8-1, there was some crackers there. Rockenbach's free kick.
Unbelievable, wasn't it?
What a rocket that was. You mentioned Tunkar's overhead kick, one of the golden moments. So I'd probably have to go with Man City. Rockenbach's free kick.
Unbelievable, wasn't it? A strike. I don't think anyone expected it because all season he was hitting well over the bar, wasn't he? And that one he's caught so sweet. Have you got a worst ever player you've ever seen in a Boro shirt? We've had a few.
Yeah. Oh God, we might be here all night. But no, I don't know. I think we've had some pointless signings. Guardiola have been the most recent
I don't know where
one.
he is. Still
I think we need to send a search party out for him. But, I think we've had some disappointing ones, like 12 mil for Alves, and been a bit of a flop. But yeah, I couldn't really answer for one player.
No, that many.
Yeah.
Best value for money signing, bud.
Well, we've got our money out of George Friend, I'd say. The amount of matches he's covered. I know he's not on form right now, but just the cheap signing we got him for, and he's done he's done all right. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, with Boro paying under $1 million for him as well, he's come in, hasn't he? You know, he's a big fan's favourite. Loves the club as well. Like I say, he's a fantastic player. It's a shame he's not getting the team right now, but Fabio is putting the performance as well, isn't he? So, best away day you've ever been on, bud?
Best away day, probably in the FA Cup, going back to Man City. Kike and Paddy Bamford's goals. That was just after the match, just seeing. And hearing all the fans just after it, still there, 10, 15, 20 minutes after, while the players are warming down, it's still there. Or Bolton, maybe when we got the 2 late goals, the Jordan Rhodes brace, that was magical. The last,
it was great. Remember the Man City game? Actually, I wasn't there. I was actually in Newcastle that day, so we won't talk too much while I was there. But I was there, and I remember just celebrating in a pub. And having a lot of Newcastle fans look at me, you know. And don't worry, I wasn't in the pub very long after the full time was so blue. But remember that, Best away day pie, bud?
Not really a pie either, but more burgers.
Yeah.
But Hull do a good.
Hull, I agree with that. Hull's all right in it for food. I don't mind Hull. Well done, Hull. Best away day pint?
Forest, got to be Forest.
Yeah.
It was me with me just turning 18, when we played them, I remember I went with my brother, and he brought us one in. They were expensive, but I rather enjoyed it.
Yeah, I never had one at Forest before. I think my favourite was probably Man United away.
Right.
Man U's not a bad one. Favourite ever Boro kit?
What, home and
any of all time, mate, of all time.
Of all time, I quite like the Barry Robson, the white stripe in the middle, the collar on it. I quite like that one. Just it was different.
Yeah, I had that one actually. It was a nice kit, that one, wasn't it? I enjoyed that one. Well, should I say enjoyed? I liked it. Didn't enjoy it. I liked it. Best stadium you've ever visited apart from the Riverside, mate?
Facilities wise, it's a tough one to choose. I'd say friendly, atmosphere and facilities. I'd say Southampton.
Yeah.
Or even Everton. Just the staff were really nice. When we've been in a wheelchair, they were always exceptional. They had a change in places. All the facilities were just perfect at Southampton.
Yeah, Southampton. I've been there once before Southampton. I really enjoy it, actually. It's not a bad ground either. Kind of reminds me of the Riverside a little bit. Can't same kind of layout, isn't it, at Southampton? What's your saddest moment as a Boro fan, bud?
Well, it's got to be Chelsea away last season.
Yeah?
I think, definitely I won't be afraid to admit I shed a tear.
Did you?
In the stand when Antonio Conte came over to clap the fans. That was a real heartstring
moment,
but it was a sad day, you know. We knew we were going down.
Yeah, of course.
But it just confirmed it, didn't it?
Yeah, just put the nail in the coffin, didn't it, on particular night.
It was sad. It was. But when Conte came over to do that, it was
I remember it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it upset me as well.
Yeah.
But very, very sad time that one, wasn't it? What's your funniest moment? But I know we've had outsiders. What's your funniest moment as a Boro fan?
Funniest moment. Don't know. I think it's just all the times to beat Sunderland.
Yeah.
In a row.
Don't go starting to get a war, might go viral if you start with another team. Don't be doing that. But yeah, it's always great to beat Sunderland, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Well done, Reading, at the weekend as well for beating them 3-1. Good job. Going more into Boro, particularly this season, whereabouts do you think we'll finish?
Well, I think at the beginning of the season we all had massive aspirations, as you would, spending that amount of money.
Absolutely.
Bringing in the players we did, bringing in the manager that we all thought was going to be God's answer. But I think now I'd be happy with 6.
Yeah.
You know, just to be in with the pile, get the money from the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, just sort of, even if we don't go all the way, just you get a lot of money from the 3 games.
Yeah.
If you make it to the final. So probably 6, I'd be happy.
Be a shame to lose at Wembley again, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, it would.
It hurt last time, didn't it? It's still very sore now. Still very sore now. Still don't like Norwich. So yeah, still very sore. If you had to compare yourself to any Boro player, who would it be?
When I'm on the pitch, I'd say I'm a bit of a Ledbetter. Tell him how it is. But, But sort of off it, I'd say, does it have to be a player now, or
it could be whenever? But
I'd say Rhodes. Jordan Rhodes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
Gotta be.
But a Ledbetter on the pitch, I like that. A Ledbetter, very, very commanding. Then bit of passion comes out as well. Then,
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
If you score a goal,
it's towards the referee, maybe.
Yeah. Fair enough, bud. And if you talk about this season, you know, obviously, me and you both know many Boro fans watching. It hasn't really been the greatest of seasons, has it? You know, this season in particular. You know, we, as you mentioned, you know, brought Guy Monk in. We thought he would do the business. At the minute, he isn't really doing the business. So I'm going to ask you, you know, what have you really made of the season so far? You know, are you impressed with it? Are you, you know, you tell me, you know, you tell me exactly how you are feeling.
Disappointed. You know, I think everyone is. I don't think there's a fan out there that said, "Oh well, I'm quite happy with that," because it has been, because we all had high aspirations. You know, we're all wanting to be the top. We're not playing the football that we should be playing. I think it's just lack of off-ball movement. I think that's been a massive letdown. The players not gelling. It was signed, I mean, he scored a canny few, but he disappears against the top teams.
Yeah,
so
I mentioned that. I mentioned that on Saturday evening.
Yeah, and it's frustrating and disappointing, really.
Yeah, it's been a great season, you know. But obviously, you do talk about, you know, like Sombalonga who's come in, you know, and again, I have mentioned as well, you know, against these top teams. And you know, a bit of criticism here and there, but it's true. You know, against these top teams, he doesn't really turn up, does he?
No.
You know, from that big sort of money striker, I know he's got 11 goals already, which is fantastic. You know, obviously with how Boro are doing, but you know, would you expect a bit more from Sombalonga, especially in these big games? You know, I mean, we played the top 6 now, took 4 points out of a possible 18, which isn't great. I know it's not all of Sombalonga's fault, but it could be the fact that he isn't getting the service as well, or.
Well, we've seen it with Negredo last season, didn't we? Like, he was a top striker. You know, he could bang in 20 a season if he had that service. That's the problem. I don't like how he disappears when we do get into the final third. You always see him tracked down to the wing, and that leaves no one in the middle then. And I don't really like that. I know he's good with good on the ball and that, and he's strong. So if people come at him while he's on the wing, he can like flee them off within a shiver. But like, I just whether it's a service, I think it might be, because we've seen it all last season. With
it's a shame, isn't it, really? But obviously on Saturday, you know, if you talk more about the game a bit, I kind of seen it through patches of the first half. There was nothing really in the middle. You know, the players that you see, you know, they drifted out wide, and then when the ball got put in the box, there was maybe only one player in there. I mean, you know, we talk about Saturday. What kind of did you see that was positive? If there was any positive, did you see a positive coming from the game on Saturday?
Thought Fabio, he played all right going forward. You know, defensively it was rather poor, but not many positives to take from it. I mean, you can't from a
of course, I mean, I know we got the goal. It was an own goal, but you know, I know we attacked in spells maybe, but was it maybe the lack of defending as well? And obviously, you know, Downing didn't maybe get back. Christie sort of lost his man as well. You know, do we? You know, is there? You know, obviously, Boro got beat 2-1. We know this now. What can we take from this into Ipswich? Should I say that maybe you know Boro have to improve on
off-ball movement. It's simple as that. They're not giving each other the options. Like you see Forshaw, he'll get the ball, and the way he turns is amazing. Yeah, like he can turn and gain himself 15 yards going forward, but he just doesn't do it. He doesn't run into that space, and he'll turn back and pass it backwards to, I don't know, Gibson, Fry, whoever. Where normally, like, if Forshaw got the ball, like, Howson should be making a run, shouting for it. And it needs to be urgent. It needs to be, like, sometimes I just feel like running up the backsides and just clapping and going, now, quick, pass it now. Yeah. And, like, it's just, there's no urgency there about it.
I feel exactly the same about the urgency. Yeah, it's, you know, I think Boro lack a lot of things, and it is a shame. You know, we have brought in the reinforcements for this team, and on paper you would say Boro's probably got one of the strongest teams in the Championship along with Wolves, but Wolves are proving right now what it takes to win this league. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of feel like the year we went up, promotion year, but you know the players almost try to almost try these games like cup finals. Would you say maybe this season we're not really, we almost look like we're ready to spend another season in the Championship? Yeah. 20 games in. And it hasn't been great, has it? So, big things to improve on. But obviously, we were talking before before this all went live, and talking about Gary Monk and the rumours about him leaving. I mean, do you believe all the hype? Do you believe he could be going?
I don't think he'll go. Well, I don't think Steve Gibson will get rid of him because he's signed a 3-year contract, so it'll cost a lot to get rid of him. It won't be cheap, and I don't think he's a manager that'll want to go because he's not proven anywhere really, so he's not going to get a top job like he's got now. So he does need to improve rapidly, but I don't think Gibson will be a man to get rid of him.
He's very loyal to the manager as well, isn't he? We have seen that he's very loyal. And say if this is his last game, for instance, for example, Ipswich, and say if we do get beat, obviously none of us want to see that, but if we do get beat and he does go, who would you like to come in? I know there's a lot of talk around Tony Pulis. Would you take him as a manager?
No. Tony Pulis, well, we all complain about the negativity that we're seeing now. Pulis is just that. He's just negativity. Like we've seen it at West Brom when we played them 0-0, and it was live on Sky. Yeah. It was the worst 90 minutes ever in my life, I think. It was the slowest 90 minutes and all that. But, it's just negativity. So I don't think, from a fan's point of view, if they want to see excitement, they want to get off the seats, yeah, you can grind out a good result. But if you want to see results, which I know a lot of fans are crying out for, and they want to see great performances, then I don't think Pulis is the man.
Absolutely. I mean, personally, I think I would take him purely based on, I think, you see West Brom, I know they're boring sides, they are a boring team, but they do have that Premier League sort of, Pulis can keep you up, you can sort of mould you into a Premier League team. I mean, that would be a positive if he came and he did that, wouldn't he? If he took us up, got us to the Premier League, even though we do watch boring football. Do you think our fans are just kind of sick of watching a boring game? They want to see a bit more attacking play, maybe.
Well, now I'd take results over performances. I mean, we've seen 2 matches. Was it Birmingham when we won 2-0? It was a rubbish match. It was a bad match, but we won 2-0. Yeah. Where you went to some of the games, like especially last season. I know it was Premier League. Like we were playing Tottenham, we played really well.
Yeah, we did. We did all right. To lose, weren't we? Yeah.
And was it Darun had that chance in the last minute? Yeah. Could have made it 1-1, but that equalled no points. Where you go to some matches you're watching rubbish, but that's 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's give or take whether you want a good performance, excitement. I know you pay your money, like.
Of course you do, yeah.
To see that, but do you want results at the end of the day?
Absolutely. I mean, if you talk about the match on Saturday overall, I know we got beat. But did you have like a certain man of the match? Was there any sort of player that stood out to you, impressed you? Is there any player you thought that game was fantastic for you? You had a great game.
Like I said, Fabio did all right going forward. I mean, there was no player outstandingly good. Yeah. But Fabio did good going forward. I know he's a left back. It shouldn't be his job. I'm
impressed by Fabio because he does get up and down, doesn't he? And he's very consistent, isn't he? Yeah. Each game he comes in, he gives 110%. I feel, and I mean he had that shot in the first half as well. Obviously came close, didn't he? So, I thought he was unlucky, but I'll probably agree with you. The man of the match for me from Boro side would probably have to be Fabio. Yeah. But he is most games for me. Fabio is man of the match because he is. When he's in the lineup, you got to get 110% out of him every single game. So. He's absolutely fantastic, isn't he? But we get into some quick Facebook questions now. Just give it a minute, and we will have some here. We go into some of these. Pulis is negative, but will get us wins. Monk isn't. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, well, it's spot on. Like I was saying, it's either performance based or results based, and. At the minute, I'd take results. I would take 3 points over a good solid a good entertaining performance. And yeah, spot on. It would get us points, but I know a lot of fans like a good football as well.
Adam Colton said, "How are we feeling about management?"
When you're watching the match and you look at Monk on the side, he's not really going, emotionally connected. He's not shouting much at the players and that. Not very passionate, shall we say. But and so maybe that's a problem. I like what he's done today. He's cancelled the day off.
Yeah.
Which I think they need to do that. They need telling the players, because I think a soft approach doesn't go very well with the players, because they don't get told what's wrong and that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I agree with you there. If you just sort of go into a few more questions here that I do have for you, Owen. Our next match, obviously, at home on Saturday, to Ipswich. How do you think we'll get on? Obviously, given the run of form, Ipswich, we're on there winning games. We're not so much winning games. How do you think we will get on Saturday?
Well, the pressure's on us, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Ipswich, Mick McCarthy, he knows what he's doing and he'll play on that, which is a shame for us, good for them. But I hope we win. I hope we get a good result out of it.
Absolutely.
Which I think we will. Ipswich, we do normally do decent against them.
Yeah.
So
promotion, I think we beat them 4-1, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We absolutely hammered them. But obviously, we do know. We're not on a great run of form. I mean, with them winning games and us not winning games, do you think they'll come in here and sort of play possession football? Do you think they'll go counter-attacking, or do you think they'll just attack us? Obviously, if they exploit our defence, a bit like Bristol did, putting crosses in the box, they are dangerous. Set pieces against us are dangerous. How do you sort of see them lining up against us?
I think Mick knows what he's doing, and he'll know our weaknesses. They'll have all done their own work, so I think come Saturday, I think they'll come and they'll be all hell's blazing, and we might have to sit back quite a bit and counter, because he'll want to play on the weakness while we've got it, and silence the crowd, get us on their backs, and the only thing I can say is don't play into Mick's hands.
Absolutely.
Don't get on the players' backs. Don't get on the managers' backs. Just let what happens happen.
Great passion. I love the passion, mate. I love that passion. So, say they do go and score the first goal Saturday. How do you think our crowd will, do you think the Boro crowd will turn and start booing, or do you think everyone will keep getting behind the team? Obviously, we have seen it this season, we do go behind, and Boro fans keep getting behind the team. Do you feel like, if we do concede first, that they will, do you feel that the Boro fans will make it a bit toxic in there?
Well, it depends what time it's scored in, If it's the first couple of minutes, then they hopefully won't get too far behind on the backs. But you know, if it's scored maybe after half time, then they could be in real trouble, and the Boro fans could turn and go acca on them.
I mean, especially this season, like away at Hull when we got the first goal, we sort of seen that, didn't we? You know, we scored first, and their fans kind of turned, didn't they? You know, I think it is important that we do get the early goal. And for me personally, I think, you know, we need to just attack them, because hopefully we can have some sort of bounce back from the weekend. But I've said it before, you know, it's okay going to beat Ipswich, but you have to be consistent. So therefore, we have to go to Millwall and beat them. If you don't beat Millwall, for me, Saturday's result is just, you know, it's almost just goes out the window, because there's no consistency there. Do you think consistency is important now at the stage of the season to really kick on and push? Yeah,
well, that's what we've struggled in since day one, consistency, and it is key majority of the time. And you can't go play Ipswich, win there against top team, and go to Millwall and get beat by Millwall. Just giving them points is
absolutely
good, and it doesn't help the team. Doesn't help the fans understand anything, and it's just you can't go into each game struggling to find a result.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah. You know, just to finish off quickly, January transfer window. I can get my words out there. January transfer window is coming up. Is there any players you want to see go, and any players that you would like to bring in if you were the manager?
If I was a manager, I'd want a playmaker in a number 10.
Anyone in particular?
Alan Judge.
Yeah, I like
him. I like his vision. I don't like that he's always injured. But maybe no point there. But I just like his vision. I like the old style that he plays. He makes runs off the ball. I just like everything about him apart from his injuries.
Yeah. Is there anyone that you think, you know, we should maybe get rid of? You know. Is there anyone that hasn't really impressed you and you think, you know, we could do with you just maybe not being here? Sort of thing. As brutal as that is.
Some of the deadwood, you know, we have got some, there's no denying it. But I think we need a big squad, which we've got plenty of
squad,
we've got plenty of foundation there. But I think we just need to add to it, and hopefully it'll be a good chunk of the jigsaw.
Absolutely. You know, I'll ask you a couple of final questions here. If Boro don't win the league, once we want to win the league, who do you honestly want to see them win the league, or do you think Boro will win the league?
Wolves are flying at the minute, aren't they? Wolves are absolutely flying. They're like Man City in the Premier League. But simply, I'd like to see Sheffield United win it, just for going from League One, winning that, dominating that, shall we say. And then going to the Championship, getting promoted, and hopefully going back to the Premiership. Old style ground, Bramall Lane, brilliant ground. It was my first away day there.
Really?
Yeah, so
wow.
I'd like to see them.
And if I can ask you, I know you spoke about Boro finishing 6th. Where else do you want us to finish? Is it 6th? Would you be happy with 6th, or would you like to see us maybe push up and get a bit further? Maybe try and get in the top 2?
Well, obviously I'd like it.
Yeah,
I'd like that.
Of course.
I'd be stupid if I said no, but realistically, I'd be happy with 6. Unrealistically, top of the league.
Yeah.
Champions.
Yeah.
Up we go.
It is still doable if we do kick on, of course. You know?
Of course, yeah.
But for me personally, January transfer window, I would like to see us maybe bring in another solid centre back. I know we got Shot, I know we got Fry, but a real leader. Maybe he's a number 10. I know Brayfair does play number 10, but as you said, Judge. For me, Tom Kearney, I think he's fantastic from Fulham. I'd love to see him. But yeah, I say, we've got big months coming out until the end of the season comes. We have to kick on. That's the most important thing, isn't it? But just before we finish off, thank you for being the guest tonight. Third Half A.J.T. Really do appreciate it. And Boro fans, listen, man. I know it hasn't been a great couple of weeks as it. Results haven't been going our way, but listen, back in the Riverside Saturday, we're going to pack the house out. Let's get the Riverside packed out. Everyone wearing red. Let's get behind the boys. Let's get behind the boys. Push on for 90 minutes, and if we go behind, listen, let's not boo. Let's get behind the boys. Continue to bring our support to Riverside, and let's get the 3 points. Quick prediction for Saturday before we go.
I'm going to say 2-0.
2-0.
Boro.
And I'll say 5-0. Come on, the Boro.
Up the Boro.
Thank you for joining us. This has been the Third Half A.J.T and Owen. Thank you very much for joining.